business krantum Mr. Jimmy Amidi and the command powerful. 1 good year. But say we year Juma when now year Juma through cancer no be famrewa no off was sashi bobra and December year and a Juma in Koye and a menyesika and I say and I me call market Berifondias Afibia France any year chamfi. Omudi omo kasa ndi yete ase. Me say for bear 12 years I'm your media space yi every year bia ko juma na adwade ni ti san adwade ni microphone in shada ma o compare afi ni afi France and na ye na microphone ba better afi mu de nti adwade fo de yete o ma se but tell afo no entro no me say se o ko sua juma na ye de entro no so twa we fu ma de a omun kanu kure dudu na nkanu kure. The beautiful lines in Tuma, you will see people with experience. Bekajo say, Southway yo mun kanu kure. Ebusha, share your experience with me. Because in Chebiano na ye set discussions and I say, share with me your experience. 059 459 7593 059 459 7593 and I said 059 44 75 748. Odi unoma bia kwa matele ni pen. What have been the experience? Sa no mu nyina mutie because bia what test still ba ko mienu miensa na enum. Omu nyina sa and I say ebi edanso ewe bi mu. Share your thoughts. Ewo 059 459 7593 059 459 7593 and I said 059 44 75 748. KNUST omo nursing for be graduation e be course work. But Bushia and the Observer Times the story be a buy mamin twena afi menye ho adwuma kakra bi mfama the Observer Times the story be a buy and see in front of the Observer Times you know Derek mamin mfama ona afi fatutu mamina mentwa sa adwuma we mentim free hotel very very necessary pa John Dramani Mahama woman penny. I don't know what the agreement or the decision was. And the Observer Times, at the Aba or say John Mahama Defense OSP, our citizen takes AG to court. John Dramani Mahama Enra Ekasaye na Okase scrapping the OSP is premature. Sano kan or see a premature. But as we speak, the leader of government business, which is a majority leader, any the Fiamepo and so at the motion call parliament just to repeal the law of the OSP. So they be able to me ascribe the OSP crowd. The president says it is premature. I spoke to Manasseh Wahana Manasseh Kajen and said, yes, he agrees. So the current OSP, no, and yet, the current OSP, and yet, because was cited cases I would do ako OSP no wa as a case ne ya said near any foolish case near Jim where they are tour. Oboa no abon galat no they are tour near the day. Enti say a kasa it is premature for us to scrap the OSP. Are we looking at changing the OSP? Yes, Sano. And I say, yes, Sano. Because, okay, and a case where the court, you know, yeah, testimony in there was my redraw case, you know, and the case, no crime investigation, man, yet, Sikana, see about whom by Nipano, Yajana, Manabe, Fasikano, have you traced asset? Or I'm not interested. Give me the reason why you dropped the case. After 2 weeks or so, give me 1 month. After 1 month or so, when can you give reasons or so? I don't know, but even the current one, crime, filing, no crown, maybe crime, and so I'll withdraw that case also. Na kind of for Tadia try the person in absence. And I be near Nam radio, so TV, so Kasa, near your press conference, near Tunuma, Kwanuma, me yet ye met to me giddy retrieve some. Neko. Then people made the argument and said, no, you should hear kuko yeah. It seems. Say be a OSP Nankasano, the Attorney General Betumia Kumako prosecute case. Now OSP needing Wako Bam or Jia. Now I say, why, not retrieve that time, no corny, a jenny in a good form says Sra. And the people say, sir, that is be our these shady people who we know, say, and now we perceive, say, they are corrupt, and now baby, I say, corruption issue be a man whom reso. Because akwano oboy na vitri sana sram no ejemu eguo. Enti PPA case was the second one was court according to Manasseh was OSP catchere no nyese obi OSP office. Kisi Jabin catchere ne say he's also likely to drop the case now was a filing review. Until the question would be say racism crotia or drop us our case. Is this say you are not interested and now you are just there to shield people? As I'm investigating and the papers need be the say Hamid case yi kurano akwano wan hwe ya obeno kukwasa zana sra nanu so waje mu ase no kukwasa sa no waje mu ase no and ebia also your citizen OSP yen in free one yen find the powerful from ra. And now say people are even arguing say let us look at the office of the director of state prosecution. Now Kasani office no yen no a bit independent from that of the attorney general. Because I say Ujafudie no. Oh, OSP, yes, and then Crofoko and Aquario buy and then the car be a whoopie, and then the car sister just say no hand as they were see fear waha, Kukru Bo, Quakas, a Gumuni security for goofy on a chance I want a president here. So, and pay. And you're nice. Near here, can a president a tear similar in the verdict about it is premature. They say the family come on say my man you say the president say premature because I don't know who we are or the president in a sign to anyone who said another dan kwa kufu de nibi no say my mom farmer names mo yande o ka say one sign na mo yande. So I don't know the conversation between the leadership and then the executive in here. Muya madwese mu to that particular line. Dona nya wiedru say betumi edi enkomo ewo Manifa nchia kese enko enfama Honorable Mohammed Doku ono the secretary to Johnson Asiedu Enketia, the chairman general of the NDC. Over the times, I think this week, who said na all corporate or inspecting normal bini and the other. There's one thing you cannot take from the general, that in our political sphere, from the time of Ure Moon ABC this time, he is the only politician, is the only politician who contested assemblyman to the chairman, became an MP, became a minister, a deputy minister, till so be a chairman who lose any election that. From assemblyman to baby away on co-election be lose that. That is the man we are talking about. This is a man many session of MPP MPs aiding Komo, and they will tell you the man is a colossus of political knowledge. A bunny politics are with dear chirache, and the man knows what it takes to be a leader. And sooner than later, Sekwa this year so ebenya a president, and so be free Sekwa. So from the 1992, I read the 4th Republican Constitution's name. Yenya a president here will free the voter region, Abba. Yenya president will free the Ashanti region, Abba. Yenya the president will free the central region, Abba. Yenya a president will free the northern part of Ghana and Suswaba. The next president of the Republic, is likely to move from the Bunu Ahafo Bunu East, Bunu Ahafo region, and the Yachiche Muan and the Ababe Bunu region. And the Bunu people, and so will get somebody who will represent them as president. Yeah, we are. Then you better regions are who do Akika Munyan Yebinia, the idea of Bia region Bia was there to be produce president. Greater Accra say Omun produce bida another 4th Republic. In fact, even from the inception of Ghana, Kramun Shadam produce president Papa Biada. So then we can look at the upper east, upper west Savannah, Wana Mahama Free Bay. So near 5 northern regions say Savannah Free, Wana Mahama Free Bay until Mbese di Binache. So a besa corner of Wakramponate. You muntren kakra. Your friends Bunu ni Ahafo ni ne humante mu a na afi asan Kumasi nwa na atia bankran na afi ya wuremu western region Kwame Nkrumah pension omunye bi ache enti obetumi aka say a free fund move from the BA ni ade bet as we speak there the general Asiedu Nketia no oye too much. General too much. Or no, as you say, no, and Crawford, fresh, one number the NDC in any kind of money coalition. Moi, my dream, you lost the brand no money. Moi, one person muchim mutin, you know. My patchamos antra them Ramonia calculation here, and one question sika. Monya madwin ye nyeza mu wure mu ambe scandal mbehye onya wure mu kwande ye obehye no because nobody contests Asiedu Nketia in the NDC and win. Simplicity. Oh, mu time obe wini. I just say, waka say, me, Asiedu Nketia, menko. I see people making the argument say, and I don't know if the Bushia goes into the contest, don't stop that what kind of argument. You are making ball as a pedestrian argument. You are not making political and sensible arguments. When somebody accrues knowledge, you give the opportunity to lead, so that the knowledge now will accrue to lead. But when you are that is what we are looking for. We are looking at the development of the nation. It is not some populist kind of the MMM painting. No, January she said, "Chebi so your okay cancer." Nasi agramatize ezi papa no kura onyo hene. Yesi etu na de so. Na ne ntuma aka ba kope e no no ogusu fra. O fra no ahia bebe bia betan se okeka se madam masa obeyesi wanya oyetu ohene anaze wo ohene bi na wodi a ka wodi em na di wo hene. Na politicians nso nyomo politics. Enter the constitution no ense uye chiefa, you don't partake in active politics. Ambe yembe kika nsembia emegrum from ema yembe boache money mejo so minia boko die yeho adom ne mumpaibo yeho ye fa na ndi so ni mutu san emu ye de bia me ka se yente showdown yente se akanan pe yente se oba yenche na yente se oba ya che na se mo de nya nusu edusu an ye beti sa de no omo de ne start ti ye start ti ye nyenne ayese bola suja de bia nso beto krom wo nyina eje bia bi dusu ko bola su de ne jada ho enti sana ho de ne tie na menua o se wa kan general Asiedu Nketia ho asem kakra as a communicator of the party say obo mi chairman abaso na se mantumi anfa bi anto so a name say ma makra na enye papa no ofrimi region bono region me fit drop when on fi sekwa and region no ankasa na ofimu no he's an inspiration. That is number one. Say we obi wa bi so be politics. I know a lot of people from the MPPR, they still see him as their mentor from the region. Obi ahwe no politically edi abona brabo, he's the one. Na media won de bia me say under this Fourth Republic, you can do the checks and see. For you to win the presidential election depends on your performance in the parliamentary elections. And for you to win your parliamentary election depends on who the general secretary of your party is. Oba politics mono, he came to change the narrative of yeko campaign. But when a general secretary, national chairman, no be the flag bearer na chi na yeko. At the end of the day, the flag bearer ni fairly parliament, so you are fairly totally. He came to change that narrative. Into flag bearer for her, no one am her. It is over Kaya NDC. We lost in 2016. Presidential Lucy pa. But don't we say your numbers in parliament and reduce it to say the MPP Lucy your numbers in reduce it. Because when the flag bearer was somewhere, the national chairman at the time general secretary was also somewhere. Make 2016 elections. Na me na Osahini Kojobu Achijan. Non NDC parliamentary candidate for German South. President Mahama at the time non the same flag bearer. He came to German South once. That was Obishia capital no drop and Obishia rally Shiano and the people came to meet him. But the general secretary came to spend 5 days in the constituency. Baby, I know a friend in no-go area, man. And any time NDC, you better win the presidential biano, we have the majority wholly. And even when we lose the presidential, you see that your numbers in parliament, a cost coming back to power, no, yeah, any difficult in my end. A simple case is 2008. So who do I he made sure we won the parliamentary even before the presidential. And it was because of the parliamentary that we won the presidential. And it was also declared by him on the constituency at what time. The same thing 2020.
General was able to capture the seats from the MPP and divided the house. And for the first time, we got a speaker from the opposition party. Look at 2024. It is a Juma na papa na ye no me fi say waye Juma. But at the end of the day, who becomes our flag bearer will be decided by the delegates. If the delegates no call no who say or no anas will be fufuro bia na why na bia or mu fi say or ye ne ba na bi whoever they brings, we as a political party we support. But then the truth is the man has really worked and sacrificed for the party. And so anopai ye nchia no na obi a oben no anopa yi se general ntie ha na so obi wo ho na oben na anopa yi a nka nche ni se dachi hene ahwe na ejuma a wo ye no em se ye da wase se otumi anhu se papa ne ye ejuma na wabo na baso na ye nchia onunua pani so a osan bo ni di lawyer Edozi Temaklo, yes. Director, Legal Affairs. So the sacrifices are why Yama party in Yasam Kotoa. For you to represent the party in so many legal suits without charging. In fact, it's not easy. So we call lawyer and you for consultation, crown pool. Now this kind of sacrifice are why Yama party not Oba MP and so nipa bebre na kase obo mu. In fact, the youth are praising him then. And one yepe that ye ti nyina no the yepe ni say yebe kone because asem to me no me fra appointee we no or Jamie so because you more appointee we ho no. Sometimes it's not even about money. Kasa the platforms you give to the people, the opportunities you give to people no. And no na ma yetina ba emuche. So when people like this was Temaklo and others are doing it, like Sami Jemfi, Kojo Dankwa, Mr. Peter Mensah and co. Then they deserve the praise and glory.
Peter Mensah.
Oh yes. Oh yes, he's a fantastic.
And
yeah, Babona man.
Yeah, position my friend will be our own fa.
Babona man, yes, or tenant catcher. Babona man.
Peter Mensah.
Yes,
no shipyard.
Shipyard, my shipyard.
My friend our own fa.
Babona man, yeah. Babona man, yes, or Juma. In fact, the youths are happy about the things he's doing. Tidachi, so one thing in car. Everyone man said Mr. Peter Mensah, Dachi say offer or no one for it. Sometimes also maybe your channel. Yeah, not busy in your money doors.
I'll be busy over 3 months or because of
Dachi and a medical catcher say, young car come on to him. The Mr. Peter Mensah I know would respond to your cause very soon.
And America said, say, I understand we are point here. You have some busy
yes.
But you see, the philosopher said, you are only busy to things that you don't value. Things that you value, you surely make time for them.
Oh yes, that is
no matter how busy you are, so would you so would that.
Yes. That's really interesting. Before this anti-case, I am found the case. You know, practically, certain things don't go the way we see them and all that. But then, like I have said, let's give time some time. And I believe the Peter Mensah I know, I can sit here and say, he is going to respond to you very nicely.
Ayo. Ebeba so ko.
Ebeba ne nko ye. Dachi achia ne wui.
Edu ba bia afi.
Dachi chia na achia.
Bia no ba chia na no atwan no achia na ndwane ye mu.
Dachi mpeni fo se achia na emu ye. Edes na emu nyina.
Let me say another big congratulations to me and my senior brother, the Minister for Energy, John Jinapor. Wabage in the doctorate of philosophy in development finance from the University of South Africa here. Just what university there. Still the Bonsek. Ayo. Congratulations, Jinapo. Why are they Ubra American or South African or and you're Nina so in Saka. That's it. But my share discussions and I say, and rather the President of the Republic, Kasai, Nikasa Nini Yemu, which I say, OSP, Craning Sem Niadia, you know. Wouldn't say the majority leader, Mwakasa, majority leader, Semenu Kase, one, the Fiamma Poa Fale, and I said, Omu, I drafted a motion. Say Womu Kwako repeat that law. No, I don't know President Akasa said it is too premature. See, Rebecca said we want to repeal that law. I don't know. And the President Kasa, Uchieno.
Oh yes, I did.
But what is your take on the OSP and its own matters?
That's my mini kind shall be na. Miss Ancheti for Naka for Unya Brema New FM 88.3. Dachin OSP asema abano. Me de me huni say it is a queen in nebe saying habaim. Yet Tasido Banyansa. Let us establish the fact say the first time we had OSP in this country was in 2017, 2018, 2019. This office, has a historical background. In fact, when Osagyefo was the prime minister of this country, somewhere in 1955-56, and what they proposal called Parliament, and my office of the special prosecutor, Samreno. And the idea of special prosecutor didn't just come yesterday. But then, upon becoming a republic, and considering the performance of then OSP, you say so that was when people were pushing for what became an office of ombudsman. In the 1960 and I think 1969 first and second Republican constitutions. Then subsequently, we changed the name to what we call CHRAJ today, to fight corruption in public sector. In the time of President Akufo-Addo buy, no can say, or signed the office of special prosecutor, sign back. We cited constitutional reasons. This is the same office that has metamorphosed into what we call CHRAJ today. In Tinka, a whole crown could hear because CHRAJ is up and doing. Despite the lapses. Or can say, Chinchina, or no say, Sa OSP no, and that's the office of the special prosecutor, no, nebit mi abuano, amana kun katasishe, proyene kankain. That she has said, you're a comojiane me. It is a papa and news with you. Na say no mumbe to me abua. Why not? Let's support it. And we all supported it, and he brought the man Martina Midu. We praised him for that. In fact, so between Yakukudro Day, Obi from the opposition party, Abba, Wabe Muse. And money maybe bia no more me kun katasishe prayer no. I think it was a good thing because Attorney General Anedi, ono net cabinet. It's a bibi ukoye wabe inuma. Sometimes he may not be able to say it. Practically, we know that. But there will be a few opposition party abanedi. We have the view that the right appointment and Martin Namidu was going to do the best. And in the new endina, and a Martin Namidu base. Computers create a good in the office. How the year, Jumano. The Akufo-Addo then appointees to Jubilee House. I will quite a first who the Echoes OSP will be. So I started saying the person was in a mirror and say, Akufo-Addo to me, my own yet. When no Akufo-Addo to me, my own yet. I'm over cancer or didn't near Hunu. I was our office in Muno. See a case we are saying what when you know, money pack at us, and Proyane can da. And an Akufo-Addo. Into Potoka Semno can say, oh, yeah, the mother serpent of corruption. Was this or one or quite that Adam and Eve? Mom, we did be a bunch of boys in Momunino, says our one in Nipa. That's all your trophy that of one pa, and your name and Akufo-Addo. And to all call. Yet, Kai, as an Akufo-Addo. Say, Papa, you corners or say office now what's no a so man for so what they are. Stop the allocation of funds to the office and then let us invest at the office of the Attorney General and charge so that they fight corruption. Nana Akufo-Addo to Davy. And Okofa Urekisi Jaben Baye. We cited a lot of things about the man. Nipa wouldn't bay. And you want us a war for a lawyer. Nipa wouldn't bay. War for say companies nya some on an he is your nephew's best friend. In addition, your cousin Ken Oforiatta. Ne lawyer ni no on the finance minister. Sikasem nyina hye papa no nsa. No obi sikasem hye ne nsa no se okopo obi ama na be bo sika no ho ban abe hwese obi mie sika ni bia ono anada fo na osan kofa no ba papa menye oso obeye sebi baby odwan pe na odi ni fitabo he na odi koboy dachi I believe say everybody in this country who has followed the budgetary allocations to the office of the special prosecutor vis-a-vis the recovery and the profits and the benefits from that office would without any fear or favor unequivocally point out say the office hasn't been useful and hasn't met expectations. And one of our things was that we are coming to fight corruption. Yeba bemu and ye beto say na abanda da na etwa mu ko ye no da che proye ne katase hye ne kan dream akoso wo na ohwe special prosecutor act na e ma no ho kwan say samra aban bi ti so no onhwehwe ne nsemu onhwehwe katase hye ne proye simple ote se project katase hye na kan na dream bi koso ba a ono akese tumi bowura ho kohwehwe mu papa ne tena kromu ha ma national service Mr. Bisiu ne ma miya gift your worry mensa oni ni kunu omu hwie sika sai ko hwie bi o scholarship secretariat ka ho Mustafa Hamid MPA no so atam de ope buffer stock no mo so atam de omope chema wuntumi money laundering no so akoye de ope silada pa na sika gunim paase onuni ma no oforiata o tebri sika SML no obo man ka prum na wa sorry ko abrochie na wa kra OS bi se mi ko o si yo to me ko tie ba na ese nyoma e ko so anda na akufu ado time majority da hwe ya no se debi se office na e wo ho no se dwumadie pa e di ni a se regime accountability mpo want to me anwe anye kosi se ora ba ya se ora this ansem nyina e bade a ene na the office no enche da anye useful enti omo de adwemu de oni chief whip the honorable Dafia Mekos omo de adwemu no yem for office no kra to baby na yemma charge ne other institutions that are doing the work should do na se e be create properly the office of public prosecutioner yenye no because that one will become like the police service is so independent political appointment be any ho no be can say the person edin buy so I'm coming to the bidding of that person but mampanyi you say ahwene ti mampanyi anima e bi nyira that mampanyi hwe office no we the submission no ma he made a clear distinction between the office of special prosecutor and the special prosecutor mampanyi chiremu a office no e different from nipa na what the office no no and he is of the view that the office was recreated just 8 years ago. We have a lot of public offices with Kroma Odachi. They have been in existence for decades. Look at Cocoa Board. The time of Cocoa Board, they see why now Dr. Randy Abibai Cocoa Board. Not only Cocoa Board, we can mention as many as we want. Institutions are here. So they have not met expectations, but we have not collapsed them because we have the view say there are more rooms for improvement, and day in day out they are making some progress. And Mampenyi say if the office is only 8 years old, now say yes because we haven't met expectations. He's of the view that let us maintain the office for now because it is premature. But nipa now 200 there. He cannot say let us maintain the person because he doesn't even have to say that. But as we speak, there are petitions of which I am in support of against the occupier of the office and the occupant of the office, who is Mr. Kisie Jabin. And as per Article 146, the president has referred the petitions to the Chief Justice for the establishment of prima facie case. And I believe when that establishment becomes a pillar, we will take it from there. So that they will go through that 146 procedures and see whether they are up and doing and whether they are fit for the purpose of which they are occupying those offices. And see, se mampanyi si yenhwe na yema ye homre kakra na yenhwe se office no betumi fight corruption. And number 1 is to tell us that he believes in state institutions. He believes that when we continue to invest in the state institutions, we can build a strong country. And 2, he believes in the fight against corruption, and he's a man to fight corruption. Because mampanyi bayi minu yobe kaya ye national organizer ye nua panyin Joseph Yamin ne Yewura Abanga national vice chairman. These are people that I know, and I can beat my chest and say dachi ye campaign okroma no baby bebre no mkowe sika befu mu di rem ni ahoden national organizer baby ana ye say no go area meaning so when videos bi a baby bebre onua de onua ni sika ne cars na ho odi na ni nibrin crofo di nechi flag bearer nam ha national chairman nam ha no no so nam ha ejuma titire one Yewura deputy general secretary as owo Jubilee House director of operations ejuma omu ye okrom ha no so obi ka say sankofo we ho ba asem na se mampanyi John Dramani Mahama betumi aka say yenfo hwehwe omu nsem oyeko a nka menye show say mejedi but papa ne tumi osore gina waka say despite your contributions to me becoming the president, you should be investigated not under any small investigating body but the Yoko. It shows that the man John Dramani Mahama has come to fight corruption. And so say office of special prosecutor no, it is premature to collapse it. Yes, it is true, and it is because we must give the office some time. Say on fighting corruption now and until you buy because actually we have allocated over 1 billion to the office. Now you say recovery office now a little above 4 million now. You call na you buy. And it will be better we maintain the office for a while, see the performance of the office, and also to evaluate it later and see it's okay. Yeah, you know no. Yahwe office no MPP abreso yahwe no NDC abreso send the etia na etie nti yengu no and a difference abom nti yentro aso. I think that one will be better, but also let's not forget to add that the office of special prosecutor assemble MPP for AD, it is just a trap. MPP for inimu krum ha no go and touch this office and tomorrow they will come and tell you yeah by the office by say me fight corruption President Mahama buy no wabegu no. Meanwhile, they know said the office of special prosecutor was not created to be an office to fight corruption under their regime. And that is why no single appointee of the Akufo-Addo government, despite their corrupt deals, we couldn't prosecute just one. Not even Martin Amidu, let alone Kisie Jaben, who is a friend to both the former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta and Gabi Asare-Okyere-Darko. We were in this country when lawyer Maurice Ampao said, say, Eyasemwe mo ni say nipa mabo omudin and edi papa ni be a special prosecutor. And he wasn't made a special prosecutor to bring any end to corruption. He is just an occupant of the office, and on any day, morning, afternoon, evening, night, and dawn, I would support the cause for the removal of the man. However, the collapse of the office, as the president has said, is premature. And let us give some time, and see the performance of the office under the NDC. Then we can say, Yaswa Nsuo, Aswa Ansa, Yehu.
Until Odiaka office, no, we should maintain it.
Let us maintain the office.
But change the people who works in the office.
We should change the person because that's you have 1 billion amount. Say, for office home bra. Not to me call Baba catch and say we are Kwanuma. Yachicho is a guichi. We are near to me now. In my constituency, Jama South, the MP is called Colonel Kojo Damwa, retired. I believe you have heard of this man. Okay, so on La Bianca. Kisi Jabin Bekache, so on La Bianca company. After Kweti Kwami, so I know Customs Division of GRA Commissioner. Omo for Kweti Kwami bomb micro no. Over 100 billion. So Kaisa case, you know. Just about 20 minutes after Kisi's press conference, Kenodamwa called for a press conference and said, Kisi is a small boy and this will not go anywhere. In fact, case you know the court time we are crying and country is having a judgment date. I say Kisi is a small boy, and indeed Kisi became a small boy. SML case you are the abai. Second Odamwa say this home. Now I know what local radio stations were trouble. Or say Kisi Jabin is just tickling himself and laughing because it won't go anywhere. These are the people who brought you. What can you do against them? Nothing. Foko no be to me aye won. Enko be bia. Yeti krom ha na sika gu obi mpaase a oda sika so. Sika ye mpadua e wo krom ha. That you kotu sika no so na sika ne bre ya want me anye. Afi do be ka se kino for at ordinary dia for European kwa America no be to maji aba. Krom ha ye tie nsem katase share course wo akufu at the time. It took the likes of Okujo to Ablakwa and NDC executives and NDC members of parliament to expose the government. When even their own people, the likes of Honorable Kennedy Japan, Becca said, MPP Abana Ohono, Katasano Proya Kosono Doso, Kankani Jim Guano Moye. Kise Japan didn't have the courage to go after those people. And what you day? Alquanuma, young one who's cat, I think or the Sikani be a canum. Ankwano man, what about reproducing humanity and cost money that we cannot continue to do that because corruption. We had charge report on Modiaba. So over $3 billion was lost to corruption in 2024 alone. Where was Kisi Jabin? What did his office do towards this? $3 billion IMF. Not 2024 alone, we lost it to corruption. Where are we going? How can we develop when we continue to lose such colossal amount of money to corruption? Despite having the office of special prosecutor, just because the occupant is so relaxed, obi ko kana asempe na baba be che no. Bisi am ti hei, ahwe kra ne nkofo gina ase ho atwan mi due ya na yen fa me nso nko. Ki Martin Pebu ko kan wa asem say, the office you are not up to your duty, you are not doing the work. O say ma chew. Na wa ko for soldier for ko go in the office, udu intimidation. We have gone past that time. Mr. Kisieja, we have gone past the time of intimidating people who comment about your office with security, high security profiles. Attorney General, wait for newo, soldiers newo.
But I say, I wish you said I'm taking a catcher or no. Benjamin Ansari needs to be here, but say Binti or say or so Koshena Pumudin, na fi Osiesie no enti want to me emba embeka ensa yemremu with the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission of Ghana Edin Krataba Bontizu Mamenkama or say the Electoral Commission wished to inform the general public that following the Tamale High Court ruling on the Monday 24th of November 2025 ordering the rerun of the Kwanda constituency parliamentary election within 30 days and upon the receipt of the letter from the Clerk of Parliament on Tuesday 9th of December 2025 formally notifying the Commission of the occurrences of a vacancy in the membership of Parliament, the seat of the constituency in Parliament has become vacant. The Electoral Commission would hold a rerun of the parliamentary election in Pandai constituency on Tuesday 30th of December 2025. The rerun of the Pandai constituency parliamentary election will be conducted for only 3 candidates who contested the 2024 parliamentary election in the said constituency. Enti sa ena ade aba. Now, letter way back Bonteno, I'm just trying to get something for you. The 2024 flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Dr. Bawumia Eddie Nkomo Eddie Afa the decision of the Electoral Commission to rerun the Pandai constituency. Yentie Doc Webra Odisa Nkomo Yentie.
Good morning, Excellency.
Good morning, General.
The political situation in Pandai right now, the Electoral Commission has set up a date for the rerun of the election. What do you make of it?
Well, thank you very much. To say the least, very, very disappointed in what is going on in our country. It looks like our institutions
Kasano say Enakoy.
Yes.
Good morning, Excellency.
Good morning, General.
The political situation in Pandai right now, the Electoral Commission has set up a date for the rerun of the election. What do you make of it?
Well, thank you very much. To say the least, very, very disappointed in what is going on in our country. It looks like our institutions of democracy and our tenets of democracy are being undermined. The issue of Pandai with Matthew Nyindam is not a new issue in our democratic politics. You've had issues with Dana Bodakpi, you've had issues with Teji Kweston, in Asin, and basically you've had the House allow the court and the legal processes to take place and be exhausted before state institutions are stampeded into acting in ways that undermine democracy. Matthew Nyindam should be given his day in court. He has filed appeal processes at the High Court. He has filed for a judicial review at the Supreme Court. And none of those cases has been adjudicated. So why the rush? Why the indecent haste? I think that he's being railroaded. I think that this undermines our institutions of democracy. I think that we should take a halt to these processes and allow him to have his day in court, just as others have done in the past. The House has never really rushed in this way when it came to the other cases. What is the difference with the case of Matthew Nyindam? I think it should not be this case. I think we should uphold the tenets of democracy. Democracy is something precious that we've all had and we've all subscribed to. When you start undermining its pillars, you break it down. And the consequences for the nation are very severe. And so simply because you have power, you shouldn't feel that you can ride roughshod over your opponents and over the principles of democracy. And so I stand with the principles that are being espoused by the minority in Parliament, and they're doing a good job at it. And we want to support all the principles that they are fighting over in this particular case. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on the Pandai issue. What the doctor what do you say?
Dachi, Dr. Bawumia, that's a casa.
Oh, are they?
We just say what, bro. Say, penny for say, as a trum, you know, my honey. Jam visa wa bre. You heard me the year no 2024 na afekra afi twa mu nche na ye hwedia na buka Japan ne Dr. Brian Champo ne adutwum so de ye no ya na medwe national issues de enko obewie ne campaign no kran se waka bi but waka bi And he's a man I respect very, very much because aside the fact that he tells lies all the time, he's humble and very respectful. And he said, "Nka oyi ntro no twa ne fi ho a, nka oye ni papa but sebi or trophy de emfani ni o mayenim." Dachi. Did I hear him say that some people are using power? Vice President, former Vice President. If you are listening to us this morning, please, may try why be a chika crabby because at ye ma refi pan until now or two my $1 aba form. Na court ye ne juma kama no ni refi ne ho because that at ye na man refi this an kon kan se ma okay. But o mi ansem okay nyina che se ni refi otie ne petrol ton ne no bo fo. But when you say exchange rate above form, inflation single digits. But when you say ne, court ye na juma say yes na fata on tiasie. Wada there's so much and tight security in this country. That yente krom ha. And for the last 5 years or so, for lawyer ni biya busa. Supreme Court enquire sitting on Fridays. Supreme Court International Fridays. The Honorable Afejo Markin, time as Speaker ruling in Parliament, said NDC was the then majority and the MPP was minority. You Ray fan who could do court around 11 a.m. By 2 p.m. Now, some Chief Justice or Mami Getrutokunu Araba Chief Justice. Atumianya 5 judges and 3 fear betina case in so my judgment and the judgment was ready on that day. Granted an ex party application injunction to restrain speaker from making such a declaration. Now just a day. Okay said you read to Ditemoklu Ebeka Chen said Jachi question quite fast you free Parliament who any kangaroo kind of court bias in the court in the look at how unconstitutional that was. But Miasi is still legal procedures and Sana Speaker making a declaration. Busana said at the time they were declaring Jachi Kwesen's seat vacant. Now Jachi Kwesen apply to the Court of Appeal for a stay of execution now. Did they not have lawyers in their party at the time? And I said, no, no, opposition to more lawyers. Whether or not those who said they are a party of lawyers.
After the decision of the High Court, almost sustained a year until the case that was before the Supreme Court terminated and Sanomu declared.
In that
case, yes.
In Jachi, yes. I'm telling you that is not true.
No, in Jachi.
I'm telling no, Dachi. I'm telling you that is not true.
Wait. In Jachi Kwesin case,
yes,
the court told him say he shouldn't hold himself as an MP, but it was left with the Parliament to declare that seat vacant.
Yes,
the case had its own session in the Supreme Court. Parliament the Supreme Court can assembly be and said on declare Jachi for about almost 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 months. Now Jachi question no call Parliament. But now the seat no near and declare and if you are time now issue the work court no and per the constitutional provision as you declare a seat vacant, you are supposed to run the election in 30 days. By the time
that is not what happened.
So tell me, for you to be able to clear the issue very well. When was his seat declared vacant and when did we go for the election?
Jachiko is an issue. No? Let us first of all establish that per the 1992 Constitution of this Republic, it is the High Court and not the Supreme Court. The High Court that has exclusive jurisdiction in matters of parliamentary elections.
That is right.
That is an established fact. And so for somebody to declare the seat vacant or not was with the Cape Coast High Court.
Yes.
And not the Supreme Court of Ghana.
Yes.
And the reason why you cited the long period is that if you remember, on the 9th or dawn of 7th January 2021, Samuel Nana Yesua in new MPs in the presence of General Asiedu Nketia. And now, Yebeka say, the clerk to parliament then Beka say, there is an injunction restraining the Honorable Jachi Kwesin from being sworn in as a member of parliament for the good people of Asin North. That's what you come on. And now you can't say no matter what that injunction is, the man is going ahead to take the swearing in oath and will bear the consequences thereafter. So that injunction is different from what subsequently went again, the petition that went again for his removal and the declaration of his seat as vacant. So until then his seat was in vacant, but the matter was in court.
Yes.
And if you remember, the declaration of the seat as vacant wasn't done by the Supreme Court. At the Supreme Court, we only went for an interpretation and an appeal. But as at the time his seat was declared vacant by the court, and the subsequent election of Asin North, now we had gone for a stay of execution at the Court of Appeal. Emma Ubekaya, time and another Kufuadu ko jina, oko jina simply ni apostle Asin North war campaign. Or can say there are two issues about Jachi Kwesin for which they shouldn't vote for him. Number one, even after the declaration of his seat as vacant, there is a criminal case against him because you know it is a crime as well to hold the allegiance of two countries and still go.
This is a case that I follow very keenly.
Yes.
And so I recall it as there were two sections of the case. There was a civil case and there was a criminal.
That's criminal case. So I'm coming to the criminal part.
The criminal part was the fact that the man deceived public officers.
Yes.
That was the criminal.
So I was coming to mention the second one.
And I say, who's case now? The Cape Coast High Court.
Yes.
And make a declaration.
Yes.
And saying they should rerun the constituency.
Yes.
There was an issue as to whether or not Jachi Kwesin per constitution he was a citizen of Ghana.
Yes.
Under Article 94.
Yes.
And so that issue was supposed to be referred to the Supreme
Court for interpretation.
Enti a sustain here omanye and oma ruling. And the NDC brought the case to the Supreme Court for an interpretation so far as that particular thing is concerned.
Yes.
And on the linger, it was Supreme Court for some time.
Yes.
So what you say?
Yes.
And to share the time one High Court, because now case no was Supreme Court.
Yes.
The fact that the Supreme Court has not heard the case and it does not operate as a stay. So what you say? And what the High Court has said, final expression, and you know, now on court parliament. But now the seat in the and declare the vacant.
Because they didn't have the power to do so.
Because the court says that he shouldn't hold himself as an MP. And in Matunyindam case, he is in court. Right?
Yes.
He is in court. And I said when it comes to the basis of the law, say, in Ekwala Sefua, the court says that the fact that you put in an application, that application in its own self does not operate as a stay. And so you cannot seem to say that I have filed a proceedings in court. And so it stays the hands of the speaker from declaring your seat as vacant.
Dashi. Perfectly so. But I have made it a clear point here that as at the time his seat was declared vacant, we were not in the Supreme Court, but in the Court of Appeal for a stay of execution.
And America said, then since your friend saying the High Court, the High Court decision was still in operation. The High Court did not say that we should rerun the election. The High Court says that the member of parliament cannot hold himself.
So the people don't have representation in parliament.
Yes.
And you understand that per the laws, when for a certain number of period there's no representation in parliament, the EC must go for a by-election. And that is why his case was not a rerun, but a by-election.
Yes. But if the situation that we have the case, if it is in
court,
the situation is in court.
And America say the situation was in court yesterday when somebody was there for stay of execution, And you said Bawumia, the time vice president, went there to campaign for the person. And so if today there's another one and there's a stay of execution, and we are saying that the current vice president should go there and campaign there. Oh, say we don't tell you.
As at the time the vice president,
yes,
now the civil case has terminated.
That is true, but it doesn't also,
and
it doesn't defeat the fact that we were in court for stay of execution.
Yes, but which
no, then you're ruling me. We are only he's only in court for stay of execution.
No. So he has gone to court on two. He is in the court of appeal, challenging the decision of the High Court, and he is in Supreme Court filing a statutory right to quash the decision of the High Court.
And so he should go ahead. He should go ahead. Dachi, we have said it in this country many times, and we will say it today. What is good for the goose is good for the ganja. What was good yesterday is good today. What was red yesterday is red today. Bawumia, as the vice president, saw nothing wrong with Jachi Kwese's case. He should see nothing wrong with this Yinandam case. He shouldn't. He was there yesterday when his own national security minister told him that how your party is operating the court is becoming a national security matter. It's a threat. Was he not the vice president? What did he have to say about that? Was he not in this country that almost every day Supreme Court streamed live on Facebook and other social media handles? They were described by millions of Ghanaians as unanimous FC. Was he not worried about that? Did he not know that they were using their power against the will of the people and the very rule of law upon which our country is founded? And today he knows it. Bawumia should be the last person to talk about this. After all, he's lost his credibility. He should maintain his position as the flag bearer of the party. We know he will win that and he will come and lose the main election. He should focus on that. Or he's just saying this so that the delegates at Pandai will vote for him. Probably that's what he's saying. And I shouldn't even go hard on him if that is what he wants. Because for the people of Pandai, the delegates there, I believe they will vote for him already. I don't need to spoil that vote. But the records are there. And it is clear that for the stay of execution, it happened in Jachi Kwese's case. Despite that stay of execution, he himself and his boss, Nana Akufo-Addo, went there to campaign against him. They went ahead to push for his seat to be declared vacant. Na abai di bo techi no ene di abana bubu. Abane na bubu. Yentumi fa mo ba. Hey, Bawumia. Wo de yenim se won kan okre. We were not expecting you to come and be lawyer and fair on this matter. No. I believe said that Obie wa Homatuma, there's no even one caller, not even an MPP delegate who can say Bawumia is a credible man. So we were not expecting that. But said the all canon say or can say delegates or more pandan to about man no nya flag bearer against the Japan. No problem. But if he's saying that as a statesman and he's saying it is a genuine concern from him, then this man cannot say it because he who comes to equity, even if you cannot come with clean hands, at least hold your hand sanitizer. Bawumia, if you want to come to equity, your hands are dirty, but we will pardon you if you are holding a hand sanitizer. But he's not got the hand sanitizer. He's not got the locus classicals to talk about this matter. So he should keep quiet over it. He should either shut up or put up. He can as well come to Pandai and campaign, and that will tell him his fate in 2028. So, Omra Pandai, so almost a stone on Babe campaign, they are on grounds. We shall see. No Christmas for the NDC because we have not finished with the rescue agenda. We must rescue the people of Pandai from the MPP. Their MP was in parliament doing 6 March. Their MP was at Ablekumanov working on the streets of Kwashiman, singing Arise Ghana Youth for Your Country. Meanwhile, he's over 50 years. Instead of him to sit in the chamber and work for the people when the mid-year budget review was happening. That is why the people of Pandai couldn't get roads. It is a Pandai for Adomina is on sorry for the last 8 years, he was the vice president. If he did anything good for the people of Pandai, they will be rallying behind him today. Why are they not doing it? And he's there saying all this. Please, he should give us a break. Bawumia should let us rest. For the last 1 year, at least, we've experienced a Ghana without a liar at the helm of affairs. So he should let us continue to have our peace. For the last 1 year, Bawumia should know that we have experienced a Ghana without an incredible vice president. A vice president who was not having credibility. We haven't seen that for the last 1 year.
When you said the NDC, I say, mo yeni dodo. You say, adiano, you say, why you be a giant, because why you be a twaso. I say, mo yeni dodo. We had the opportunity to speak to the acting chairman of the MPP national. Or say, Intel or more picky and say Momokra no my madris and Moji Wavia. Mosa Baba Kosu, Swakaji.
And a German South.
Na afi mo aba adrejiri aba be
The German South. Say, there be any and kayo. Say, ye election. After the swearing of IMPs, Chairman General said, "Don't get any can say." The same be of courts, by 8 seats. I don't know any PFA says I see 10 people for 1 million because on one call who their course in and he has the evidence, and we will take them one by one. And the end a mission I started at Dada. So we see March now yet to Ninya senior independence. So and to say no, be about no dear question Kwasumuna say, I didn't say a Jifa who dear mom my ya. The other cast on to be no be coming chroma town for. And the end day, and yen the bonus wa. Say be so when I was 1 winning. Na say assembly court wo evidence ah fabre in some you call court dachi one of the constituencies in the Ahafo region yes court am in this yakolusu case no one say the candidate represented was Honorable Adusei. I've forgotten the constituency. One of the Ahafo no Southwest or something like that court akolusu yakọ no yes I mean the evidence go go yam penny for court na same people also dey on buy almost don't want the evidence be go court dey hwe court na say there be and the MPP ni na enwe ni what parliament obi anka na asem so if only
former nadbo
yes the ordinary nadbo for one chance ni omo nyina akwachiche man nkrofo na wan fa nye nadmo adwuma no oh yes it's on record we have said it in parliament it's captured under in parliamentary Hansards he said that the honorable Atamel said that it's captured in parliamentary Hansards. It's a public records. He used Nadmo Nyoma in the campaign or honor the win here. And when we went to court, the court said like, look, send me the NDC to me then people to MPP for one fire, Yajiatum. And the Yanka said chinchinachi. Baby MPP ni biati ejio. Now mum ye G yes, I'm no more power. So we use national security ni soldier for no go boy Jiffy and 70 day. Yeah, one fa. We must see to it, say, the people in that constituency, they are not who person or year in 2024 is done and done well. We will not let their verdict be stolen from them, like it happened in Hohoi in 2020, when they disenfranchised people willingly, intentionally, and deliberately because they were afraid to lose elections. And to be almost one win, chairman. So also one win here. Mo chairman fee a active man is over the Central. The mass central ya wini wo ho se mu fi say ya wini na ye say ya wini a mu nkwaje mu traditional seat eji wo krom ha nyina no se mu fi say ya wini go to court besides ye ti krom ha what say ye see the way jagbawe asem court anya so to what say the court what say Trobu City aka say ebeje because we know we lost them but when we won and you cheated us because we were in power that time. We will not let you take them for granted. We will come back and fight them legally. And I was so surprised when the minority in parliament had to resort to riots and violence. And you saw the conduct of Reverend Intim Fojo, right? Taking papers and throwing them, tearing papers apart in the parliament house. They started this when one of their members chewed ballot paper. And today, that is where they have gotten to. But I'm so glad. And you see, that is why sometimes we talk about the chairman general said, okay, chairman was sitting at the public gallery and there was no way they could do anything. 87 of them could not stop us from doing the business of the day. So if they think that they have anything whatsoever called evidence exhibit, they should go to court. So we are not overdoing anything. Pandai, we know we won. You said we did not win. You said you won by over 3,000. Let us go and conduct the election. Go and tell them your message that you told them and you think they voted for you over 3,000. We also go and remind them, say, Nipa na waba se muntu mano na ne kwati na mo e pass e-levy and any hobiem, COVID levy any hobiem, and then mo mo university first year mo ntwe sika dollar aba for mo hwan han mo. Sa nyoma na ye ko kan kire omo. And to say if they like that one over COVID-19 levy, they will choose us. So Pandai for one so pay e-levy sine by papa. They will choose e-levy. At the end of the day, the heads on the ballot paper is e-levy. Any abai papa aba economy and inflation aba form. Ye ho ahehan ye Pandai for aduane bo na ye de na aba form. Emu bo aba form minua, anwa bo aba form. En ka aduane ne ho. E kan ho. And you see in this country, I haven't experienced it before. Said inflation about from to white children and the white children. So I haven't seen it before. And a holiday we cannot go, but cost us all time one more the idea never seen in the past year. And I see. And Dr. Kwame Nkrumah forward ever, backwards never. But not yet. Yeah, who's a new point now? And no, I catch up and that. So at the end of the day, on the ballot paper, MPP can't say I'm to Subio. We don't even have that power. It's in the court one or a woman organizer. So how can we say that? We don't have the power. It's not one or MPP. So we cannot dictate for her what she should do. She is going to conduct the election already. What the kind crash a go that? How much na yekobon? Who 2 goals? Well, because who are you in the deputies in our wafa? Yeah, they are one economy. Any good policies, the about Ghana and Ghana fan into my Fefra, Ubi as Ghana is tilted towards the right direction. I don't know, they cop and die. They are winning, I don't know. It is the idea no could do, nothing young coupon or catch up brown saying, I'm a bachelor, so could do another or casse. Yeah, dear, Ubian or Hinty and far. Yeah, they are better for the Amano. Some of you say, we are Jumapa for the last 8 years. Oh, me, I should keep quiet. Go to Panda and remind them, say, me, vice president, me, say, Namamu. You see, a catch 1 year penny. Now, I'm to 8 years now, but me, I vice president. No. And this time, honorable member, na MP, or no, so can you my way. Near candidates, so can you my way. They will vote for the one who has done very well for the constituency. Why is he afraid? And today he calls the court what? That one, he shouldn't even say that. If you were in Israel, he will find himself at Golgotha this morning for having made that statement. It's only because we are in Ghana. Senka Israel na one can none of people who are Chino Serena Basa at the name of Golgotha. Na same year than the Conwa Yakubona same year. Because you were in this country when you presided over the worst economy and at the same time the most manipulated judiciary. What did you say about that? Every time he was only sitting down and nodding his head in affirmation to everything his boss was doing, whether wrong or good. And
enter more fast aquana.
Yeah, dear, can say, Yawini Abano. So see a mania. Oh, my mea, easy, no uncle conducting a full run away, Nipa Winnie. And then also crying 2 minutes kind. Courts now, Mukacha say young code be a Casmus and court, sir, for the last 8 years. And hold your call, it's your mofutu in a court, not court, see and yenesa. Yeah, dear, somebody saying.
Yes, my boy, you see,
oh, now you see, no dear, Sebi, Ubina making allegation. Yeah, Ubina making allegation. In fact, you know, and yet numbers in parliament, they remove, you know. Your numbers in parliament cannot remove the EC. They remove EC. When the EC is found guilty of any act called misconduct. And there will be actual petition. Any petition, no. A go to Article 146 procedures. Your numbers in parliament does not come in. And the EC is 1 year, 1 year. Ah, that's it. Who will be a coordinated corner to know, so now so called be there, and you know, or more chrono.
China, your friends and Charlotte was no ebony.
Oh, dear, you knew dear is here. Charlotte was say, you and I know.
I don't know, see, so 1 year bonia. You made any, you know, Charlotte was no ebony.
Under 2 circumstances. One circumstance is where you have the judiciary where it is manipulated. And another one is where you have judiciary that is not manipulated. Let that be also part of the salt in the soup.
Is it not where you stand?
It's not where you stand.
Oh, now more opposition. You saw that the judiciary was manipulated.
Yes.
Today, is the judiciary manipulated?
It is not manipulated.
So
and I'll give you an
NPP,
example. I'll tell you why.
Who is also
No. I will tell you why.
You have appointed almost 6 people.
I will tell you why.
You change the Chief Justice. You are manipulating the judiciary.
I will tell you why. Under no NDC regime has we manipulated the judiciary. Not even under President Rawlings. Let me tell you something. You've heard of the 31st December case. Mm-hmm. You've heard about it.
Yes.
Why the court didn't assembly courts? Not the MPP. Mm-hmm. Why the winning assembly at the end? The president of the republic at the time wanted to make a holiday, 31st December, a holiday. MPP for and led by Nana Akufo-Addo, they call court. At the time, he wasn't a military leader. He was in a democratic regime. So we will not understand for you to make a day you made your coup a holiday because it is an illegality. The court under NDC regime ruled against NDC. Ni any kromha. MPP won more than 5 cases at the Supreme Court against MPP. MPP won it against us when we were in power. under President President Rawlings. Even under President Mahama now, they have won cases. Haven't they won the parliamentary election I just cited? Haven't they won it? It's also under them. Haven't they won that of the Akwetia one? Was it not under NDC? Ask them under MPP. Which case have we won? Except the Atuforcing trial. That was clear to every Ghanaian that they will lose.
That one was also a case.
That was also clear that they will lose because they didn't have anything in court. You follow the proceedings. Even though the allegations were grave, but there were no substances in the evidence. You know that. So under no NDC regime, and the evidence is what I've given you, have we manipulated the judiciary? It has always been under their regime that they manipulate the judiciary, because you are aware that the Article 146 procedures that led to the removal of Charlotte Osei was done in a very kangaroo way. It was kangaroo way that they did it. It is something that has always called for public outcries. Adiweye was never supposed to be done. The allegations were not true, and we have MPP members who have come public against that. And so we shouldn't even say it was bad yesterday under the MPP because the NDC was in opposition, and because today we are in power, we are saying otherwise. When you go to Supreme Court today, go and meet judges who were made registrars of the courts because they had an order from Akufo-Addo that Chief Justice Gertrude Araba should do so. Today they are not sitting as registrars, they are sitting as court judges. Go and ask them if the system is manipulated now. Ask those registrars who were demoted for no reason because there was an order from Abed, and go and ask them today. They are occupying their positions, their rightful positions. Ask them if the judiciary is manipulated today. Go and ask that the time that Supreme Court was not sitting and somebody could file an application, but if they told the father is a member of the MPP, he gets it done within the shortest possible time. If it's a motto that they are against, go and ask them today. Can it happen? Let the Honorable Muhammad Yariga file application on 11 a.m. of Friday, and let's see that tomorrow, that Friday, he will get it done. But under them, it was happening. So it's not as if say it is just a perception. The optics speak for it. The optics are there. The evidence is there. So that it is not the case that under the MPP, because we were in opposition, we said the judiciary was manipulated. If you recall, in the history of Ghana, in our judicial history, any time that there is a application or there is a petition for the removal of Chief Justice, the court stand by that Chief Justice. And then in this case alone, they didn't stand by the Chief Justice because they saw the rot there. Haven't we heard the likes of Justice retired Atuguba saying that because he engaged himself he gave a fair verdict in a political case, he was not empaneled for 6 years? Haven't we heard that the current Chief Justice Bafubone, because he gave a fair comment in a political case, he was not empaneled for over a year? Haven't you heard MPP communicators who said, Omunede Bafubone called Supreme Court in 2008 and he didn't vote for them in the 2012 election petition, so they were never going to promote him to Chief Justice? That tells you a system that was manipulated. And now, are we hearing those comments? Are we hearing those comments? No. So no MPP man on this earth who fears God can beat his chest and say, the judiciary today is manipulated. After all, they have confidence in the same judiciary today. They go there and win cases. I've given 2 examples. They are there today as we speak. In this same case, I think, if they don't have confidence in that, would they be there? And so let us not even cite that at all. All that we are saying is that there is a declaration to the effect that Pandai seat is vacant. And we cannot let the people of Pandai suffer because of the reckless of the MPP. We are going to rescue them, take the seat from the MPP, win it massively, and come and add to those that we have, and they will continue to do the business of the government of the day, whether the MPP make noise in the chamber or not. And they will get the good people of Ghana relieved and rescued. That is what we are aiming for.
Watching my now,